Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
About 3 or 4 years ago, my best friend was throwing a birthday party. I went to go pick up our other friend from the Amtrak station, about 2 hours away. When we got back, everyone was already wasted, and they were like clamoring over each other, each trying to be the one to tell us of some crazy thing that happened while we were gone. Went a little something like this, from what my best friend told me. Party not quite started yet. Only people at my best friend's house are her boyfriend and another friend. They decide to hang outside in the nice October weather. Smell smoke, and after walking a bit, see a fire in a field, maybe a mile or two away. They get in best friend's car to check it out. This is totally a good idea. Move. Get close to the field where the fire is and park the car on the side of the road, stupidly turning off the ignition. Walk closer to the blaze for some reason. A shirtless man with an axe comes running from the inferno, screaming at my friends. Best friend frozen with fright. He's getting closer, waving his fucking axe around. Her boyfriend takes the keys from her. They all pile into her car, and they nope the fuck out of there. Have never seen that crazy man before, nor since. Creepy shit always happens around where she lives, out in some little country neighborhood.
Here's my own creepy horror experience. Be me last October. I'm heading out into the Yukon wilderness with my dad on a moose hunt. We normally go to this old cabin about 4 days' hike into the bush. We set off, make good pace, make camp, and we sleep under the stars. Nothing to report. Next day, we get the sense that we're being followed. Meh, probably a wolf or a mountain lion. Not really a big deal. Second night, we start to hear weird sounds. I'm talking birds that have migrated south a long time ago, weird. Birds that aren't active at night. Keep in mind, it was very warm this year, so that may explain this part. All right, whatever. Eating some deer jerky and drinking beer with my pa. We wake up and our stuff has been rummaged through. There's no food missing. What the fuck, .jpg? Nothing's been wrecked either. Not gonna stop me. I'm bagging a bull this year. We trek onwards, and then we hear something. And something small and completely out of place. It's a small voice crying for help. Me and my dad look at each other, rifles locked and loaded. Keep in mind, we are 3 days from any civilization at this point. We make camp early and build a huge fire with more than enough wood to last the night. Then we hear it. Screams. The most horrifying and inhuman screams you can imagine. After about 2 minutes of them nonstop, my dad grabs his shotgun and shoots off 3 rounds into the blackness. It all goes quiet. We're back to back with guns in our arms. No sleep tonight. Pack our shit at first light. Haul absolute ass all day. Make it about 2 days worth back towards civilization. Not enough time to build a big fire. The screams are back and sound like they are coming from the very edge of our firelight, branches snapping and trees shaking in the distance. Sweet Mary, Mother of Holy God, please keep me safe. The screams don't stop until morning, and there are no birds at all. No squirrels, mice, rabbits, anything. We hoof it the hell out of there. Make it back to our truck that day at dusk. Beeline the fuck back home in southern Alberta. Still haven't talked about it with my pa yet. /X/WTF did I encounter?
Time to share a story about a house my parents, my sister, my dog Buddy, and I lived in for about 1 year. The house was next to a very dense forest. I'm 4 years old. It's winter. There's about a foot of snow outside. I really fucking love Power Rangers. And this is the time when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was new in the States. About 11 p.m., my dad just took my mom to her overnight job at UPS, I think. Not important. My sister was staying at a friend's house down the street. My parents trusted my loyal companion Buddy to protect me for the 15 minutes it took my dad to drive my mom to work. Buddy comes up to me, whimpering to go out. I put on my snow gear because I felt like playing in the snow with Buddy would be a wonderful idea. Open the door, let Buddy out, and I start stomping in the snow, throwing snowballs at Buddy. Hear a cracking noise in the forest. Buddy runs towards it, barking. I don't hear barking anymore after about a minute. I start whimpering. See a man, about 6 feet tall, running from the forest to my yard and into the street, dressed as the Red Ranger from Power Rangers. He looked like he was bleeding profusely. I went inside, ran to my room, turned on every light, and couldn't sleep. Buddy wasn't found until a week later. Never told anyone about any of this, not even my parents. Kinda spooky, not really. But I was afraid as a kid. Got a couple more from that house. Same house, springtime before winter of the Power Ranger incident. My birthday just passed. Just turned 4. Got a neat set of swings and a slide for the backyard. First day after it was set up, a swing seat goes missing. My dad couldn't figure out what happened, told me he would pick a new one up at the store. Second day after it was set up, a chain from the missing swing seat goes missing. Dad is getting annoyed. Third day after it was set up, the last chain from the missing swing seat goes missing. He is fed up. Calls the police. They say they can't really do much about it, or something, a bit hazy on that. My dad gets a neat handbar thing instead of a replacement swing. I really liked it. 2 weeks pass. Police cruisers, a fire truck, and 2 ambulances show up to the house 2 doors down from ours. A man was strangled in his own house with the chain from my swing, with the other chain binding his legs and arms together. The man lived alone. They never found the killer. I couldn't look at my swing set for a while after that. When we moved, we just left it there. Last one, I think. Hard to remember what happened 20-odd years ago. Same house, summer before the Power Ranger incident and after the swing set incident. We have a huge room, like 30 feet by 30 feet, for a single computer my dad uses for work, sitting in a corner. There's also a crawl space in that room that I used to use as a hiding spot for Buddy and me. It had a lock, and only I had a key to it since feasibly. Only me and Buddy could fit in there and move around. It's like 9 p.m. My sister is in her room listening to her Walkman. My parents went out to enjoy themselves. Buddy and I go into our hiding space. I brought some comics in there. I also brought a flashlight, so I closed the door. After about 3 minutes of us being in there, I hear a locking sound. We were locked in. Can't actually open from the inside if it is locked. My flashlight battery died. I started hollering until my throat was hoarse. No one came to get me. Heard my parents come home. They were talking. They went right to their room and to bed. I was in the crawl space until 9 a.m. the next morning when my dad went to use his computer. I told him about it, and he couldn't figure out why. He even took apart the lock. I was in therapy for a week or so due to being afraid of the dark and enclosed spaces and having night terrors. My sister was grounded for not properly watching me and instead listening to music the entire time in her room. To this day, I cannot stand being in a pitch-black room and need my TV on to sleep.
I have first-hand accounts of a story that has become a local urban legend. An old woman lived alone in a mansion on a hill. She outlived several husbands and all her children. This was a simpler time where being older meant you were respected. She made small items for the children of the community. Treasure chests and jewelry boxes and such. Simple, heavy items that are useful enough to keep but not see much use, and are likely to stay in children's bedrooms. One day my aunt drops her box and the mirror in the lid pops off. Carved into the wood under the mirror is a pentagram and curse words in Spanish or Latin. My aunt is upset and tells my grandmother, dad, and uncle. They pull the felt lining out of their boxes and find similar pentagrams. Word gets around to all the moms in the community, and they throw out all the gifts. The old woman comes around with new gifts and gets angry when they are refused. The one mom who lets her manners get the better of her and accepts one of the gifts has to take her daughter to the hospital. The old woman seems to age visibly from day to day and dies within a month. I have one more story after her death. Be my dad in his teens. The mansion is owned by one of her surviving grandchildren, but he lives out of state. Pays the cleaning lady to clean every week. Sneak in with friends regularly. There are 2 master bedrooms, his and hers. The house is still furnished. In her bedroom there is a walk-in closet we call the nothing room. It is so dark that if you stick your hand past the door frame you can't see it. Playing hide and seek, I found out that if you go all the way inside, you can see back out into the bedroom. We make a game of sitting in the nothing room until we get freaked out. 3 of us are sitting in the nothing room, waiting for other friends to come with beer. Hear a faint squeaking, and mistake it for my own heartbeat, or my friends shifting in the dark. Look out and see a rocking chair in the bedroom rocking by itself. As I watch, a misty white silhouette starts to form in the chair. I'm the deepest in the nothing room. I can see my friends' heads and shoulders silhouetted against the doorway. I lean forward and ask quietly, "You guys see that?" They nod and grunt in the affirmative. When they make the noise, the rocking stops, and the reverse silhouette seems to turn towards us. I blink and it is gone, and then I hear an eerie cackle from behind me in the nothing room. My friends scatter, and as I try to follow, a ghostly bony hand wraps around my forearm. I rip free and end up vaulting over the banister to beat my friends down the stairs. We run out the back door, knocking down our friend coming over with the beer. I throw an excuse at him and run all the way home.
This happened like 2 weeks ago, living alone. Getting home late from a friend's house, Friday night, big fucking party. Wasted, 3 a.m. Small town near the main highway to the east and woods to the north. Province, not so far from Mexico City. Too cheap to call for a taxi. Also, I live like 16 or so blocks from the place. Fuck it, I'm gonna fucking walk. Going through the main street of the town, ragged stone road. Dark. Street lights are shit and like one every 100 feet. I'm used to walking this road because we go to this friend's place a lot. Too drunk. Tripping a lot. Heard dogs barking at me, finally get to a populated area. Still quiet and no cars coming from any direction. Reaching the highway overpass. There's a road that comes across and beneath this overpass that I have to cross in order to reach the part of the town I live. It's walking through or crossing the highway. I'm too drunk for that. No lights under because Mexico. As I approach, I can see a parked pickup truck with headlights on. I have a bad feel about this Scoob.jpg. Keep walking. I can see 2 guys unloading something from the back of the truck. It's dark, I can barely see, but I watched one of the guys drop to the floor what seemed to be a body. Then, one of the guys turns around to the direction I was standing, and instinctively I pulled myself over a pillar and shat a brick. Heard the guy telling the other he thought he saw something.
Nope. Running back where I came from, heart beating full speed. I'm not drunk anymore, heard the doors of the pickup closing and the engine starting. Shit. As I came back to the stone road, there's a small old bridge over a gully, like 15 feet to a bottom of rocks. God damn it, better kill myself than them. I slide down the edge to the bottom. I fucked up my leg and arm, but didn't kill myself. I hid under the old bridge. I heard the pickup passing over the bridge and stopping for a while. Then they floored it to the highway. I was really freaked out, and I didn't want to move from that spot until the sun rose. 4 a.m., police sirens and shit. No way I'm going out. Those fuckers gonna use me as a scapegoat. 6 a.m. It seems everything is over. I climb back to the road. There are some people in the street and cars are passing by. At last I can cross to the other side of the highway. Walking the sidewalk and then a puddle of blood with steps going to the other side of the town. I rush to my house. That afternoon, I heard from a news tabloid seller that some guy was found with 3 shots in the back, 200 feet from where I saw the guys dropping the body. This dude seemed to be alive when those fuckers dropped him from the pickup, and they were about to give him the coup de grace when I stumbled upon them.
Be me, a young-looking boyish 5 feet 4 inches blonde, working late at a McDonald's job. Creepy-looking guy walks in. Creepy as in to catch a predator. Guy orders a large coffee and asks me weird questions while I make it. Guy: how old are you? Me: 17. Guy: oh, cool. What time are you off work? Lie to him and say 1 a.m. when actually off at 11:30 p.m. Guy leaves. Around 11 I go into the lobby and start to clean up before I go. Look out the window and see a car on. See the creepy guy in said car. He waves to me with a smile. What the hell? 11:30 rolls around and my brother is picking me up. Usually wait around outside, but not with this guy still outside staring at me. Brother finally shows up and we begin to go home. Guy starts to follow us. Don't say anything because I think I am overreacting. He isn't following us. Just a coincidence, I say to myself. Almost home and turn onto a side street that connects to my street. Guy still following us. As we turn, he continues forward. Never saw him again. This was just over a year or so ago and was super creepy. I really hope it was just some guy with nothing better to do.
Be me, 19, living with 6 people in a big house. The house was about 100 years old. Not sure about the background of the house besides it being old and was used by junkies a lot. Anyway, lived there for a month. Nothing too strange at first. Fast forward 2 months, we all start to hear things upstairs like footsteps in the 1 bedroom, but everyone and the dogs would be in the living room. Would hear faint whispers and shit. Basement was especially creepy due to having 1 shitty light. Did my best to stay out of the basement. Only did laundry down there, so that goes on all the time for a few months. At about month 6 now, and one morning I was sleeping and no one was home. Was around 9:30. I was dead asleep and out of nowhere the door starts slamming shut. Jump out of bed thinking it's my roommate screwing with me. See no one behind the door. Just shit a brick.avi. Literally noped out of the room downstairs. Freaked out for a few days and slept downstairs. At this point everyone is hearing and dealing with weird shit happening to them. One day 4 of us are upstairs in 1 bedroom. Try not to talk about the ghost in the house, but it gets brought up. Now the attic room was completely finished, but in the 1 corner of the room there was this crawl space-like hole. I put a board against it and prop it up with another board. The one roommate was drunk, so he screams out, If there's something in the house, move that board, and says some other things to try to get a reaction. Nothing happens for a few minutes. Everyone starts to leave the room. Both fucking boards flew across the room. Literally all stand there agog and stunned. Last weird thing to happen. Moved out shortly after.
Happened to me at work the other day. Not super spooky, but it's something. Working third shift at a popular convenience store in my town. Around 2:30 a.m., ask the boss if I can go out for a smoke since I've finished most of my nightly tasks. He says sure. Head out to the walled-off area where our dumpsters are, as it is the designated smoking area. Sit down on a milk crate, light one up, and play on my phone. Midway through the cig, I hear a voice from over the wall facing away from the store and towards a small wooded area. "What are you doing in there?" Felt a little awkward and weirded out. Decide to take another drag or two and head inside. After a few seconds, the voice asks me again, "Don't you fucking ignore me. What are you doing in there?" I know it's not my manager's voice, as it was quite raspy and shaky. Figure it's just a homeless guy. Leave a cig on top of the milk crate for him before I nope back inside. As I reach the safety of the store sidewalk, I turn back to look. See someone in all black hopping over the wall. They were at the falling inside portion of the wall climb, not the getting boosted over portion. You know what I'm saying? Tell my manager about it. He goes outside to check, as the dumpsters are employee only. Says he didn't see anyone around, but he would check the cameras. That feel when he checked the cameras, but didn't see anyone hopping over the wall. Unrelated, but I also use the excuse of having a smoke to go play Vidya and rest outside. I even carry a box of fake cigarettes made of chocolate for those occasions. I must look pretty dumb with one of those things in my mouth while I play around with my phone. Luckily, nobody has noticed that I don't smoke, even though I don't have yellow teeth, bad breath, or generally smell like several co-workers that do smoke. Or maybe they just don't care. The store has had hundreds of people working here that get fired in days. I've been here for a year and a half without so much as a warning.
I've got a couple, one being a spooky ghost, and the other being a creepy stalker type at my shitty workplace. I'll start with the stalker. Be me last year working at a shitty discount retail store. Normal evening shift, straightening up shit, and leading the autism that is our customer base to things they want. 6 p.m. rolls around. I'm cleaning up the health and beauty aisles. Some middle-aged dude and his mom roll into the aisle. Give them the usual bullshit asking how they are and whatever. The guy does need help with something. I lead him right to the thing and go back to what I was doing. Nothing weird so far. He comes back to me and starts to chat with me, asking random stuff. Still nothing, until he asks me what high school I attend. I tell him I graduated the year before and he asks from where. With hesitation I tell him, and he says he was a graduate of there as well. Okay then. It gets awkwardly silent and his next question makes me uneasy. Are you good at organizing? I could use some help at my place. I decline, but I make it clear I'm not comfortable. I excuse myself and go to one of the warehouses, get a hold of my manager and explain the situation. She looks at me in disbelief. I probably should have prefaced that I'm a guy, and of course she just can't understand why this would make me uncomfortable. A few days roll by, and I'm doing the same shift, though I'm on the opposite side of the store. I decide to go up to the front to talk to a buddy of mine, kill some time and just be a lazy dick since I hated that job. Creepy guy is just checking out. He catches me when I go to evade. "Anon, how you doing?" I give him a wave, exchange an awkward greeting before getting away from him. He finds me and asks if I want to hang out, party with him, drink some beers and get some chicks. He asks what time I get off work. I lie and tell him it's late and I have shit to do afterwards. Moving on. Oh, that's too bad. What's your schedule look like this week? Lie again and tell him I'm booked for the week. He seems upset and leaves. I talk to my manager again. She actually seems concerned now, but still is hesitant about the whole thing. Tells me to just let her know if he comes back doing this kind of shit. The next week, same shit, different day. Cleaning up stuff, leading idiots to shit that's in front of them, this, that, and the other thing. Look down one of the drive aisles. See that familiar form. Immediately make my way to the warehouse. Not dealing with this. Get there and phone the front desk. Get the manager to talk to me. She says that he asked her where I was, and she lied, but then he asked one of my co-workers who is almost literally autistic. He gave him which area I was working in. Thankfully, she didn't see me go to the warehouse. Manager goes back out to see what he's up to, and then comes back, telling me he seemed very short-tempered and determined. Also, he brought a couple of friends. What .png? She describes them as a couple who just tossed a bunch of random shit in their cart and only bought 2 or 3 items out of a full cart. As I come out of hiding, I see the creepy dude standing next to a shitty, beat-up yellow car. He's talking with the couple who are in an equally shitty, beat-up pickup. Get back to work, trying to avoid going near the windows. An hour passes, and I go out for a smoke. See the shitty yellow thing still in the parking lot. I smoke down the rest of my cigarette in a few drags and go back in. I get my manager and point out the car. The second I get it pointed out, it roars out of the lot, but only down to the spaces for the bar next door. Can't read the plate at this point. When it comes time to leave, I wait for my ride to come while staring down the yellow shit car. Ride comes and we book it, explain everything to my buddy. Buddy laughs and says he's probably just some guy who doesn't know how to make friends. Suddenly, in the rear view, we can barely make out a yellow car. Not too far, but not extremely close, with its high beams on. Immediately, I get nervous. Tell my buddy to do some weird shit to get home. He obliges, taking extra long routes and going through neighborhoods. The car is following to the letter. Come to an intersection. It just turns yellow and my buddy, now fucking terrified, floors it and we just make it, leaving the creeper stuck at the light. Evasiveactions.gif. Start going in weird directions again, then park on a random street and wait for a while. Don't see the car and continue home. Within the next couple of days, I took a week off of work and took a trip out of state. After that, he never came around the store again.
This is what comes to mind. Be me, 16 at the time, just moved into a new house. Nothing has been replaced since the 60s. Family is very religious. House is almost in the woods, middle of nowhere. About a week in, start noticing shit. Pictures falling off nails. Crosses falling too. Random shit being moved or just lost. I sleep on the second floor. Start having terrible nightmares. Seeing shit out my window and stuff. Each dream has something in common. Out of the corner of my eye, see a shadowy figure. Eventually can't sleep. Don't wake my parents because they'd probably be mad since they have to work and shit. Plus, I'm a full of myself 16-year-old. Nightmares get worse. Start seeing the nightmare man as I've come to call him outside of just dreams. Life is dysfunctional. Parents noticing shit too. Decide to call a priest to bless the house. People fighting all the time. I'm becoming super depressed, suicidal even. Night before the priest comes, Nightmare Man comes to me, tells me I'll be at peace if I end it. Scared seeing it clearly. The thing is humanoid, but floats so that the tips of its feet touch the ground. Teeth sharp as razors and blindingly white eyes. Lock myself in the bathroom for the rest of the night. Parents find me in the morning, fetal position. They use the key to get in. It's anticlimactic, but it ends like this. Priest blesses the house. Problem solved. Still have fucking nightmares.
Be me, 17. Babysitting my little cousin of mine, 5 years old, along with his imaginary friend Roger. Decided to play hide and seek. Me starting counting on the second floor of the house while my little cousin and Roger went hiding. While I had my eyes covered, someone killed the lights on the second floor. Caught me off guard and got a weird feeling about it. Rushed to turn on all the lights on the floor, seeking and calling for my little cousin with no response. Found him downstairs hiding in the laundry room. Said turning off the lights was a nice touch. Cousin said he didn't do it. Stared at him with a smirk, waiting for him to fess up. Replied with a, "I can't reach the switches, Anon." Got so scared I felt like throwing up. Struggled hiding it and told myself maybe I did it before the game started and forgot. Heading back upstairs, the second floor hallway lights got turned off again. Chills ran down my spine and my palms began sweating. Asked my cousin if he saw it too. Cousin said, about to cry, he wants to call his parents. Asked in absolute fear, "Do you think maybe Roger did it?" Got a, "How? He's right here." Waited for my aunt sitting in the front yard with my little cousin and Roger until they arrived. Refused to stay the night without further explanation. I've never said a word about the issue to them or my parents, and I try not to bring it up near my cousin.
In Japan, studying abroad, lost in the fucking nightmare that is the Hiroshima train station, trying to get to my night bus stop. Sit down to look at a map. Notice a really fidgety old guy that keeps looking at me and pacing back and forth. He finally sits down uncomfortably close. Starts trying to talk to me in broken Japanese, but he's speaking too fast to understand. I think he's asking me where I'm headed. I tell him that I'm trying to get to the night bus pickup. Show him the map. There's a fancy hotel near the stop that I couldn't find. Ask him if he knows how to get there. He gets even more excited and keeps pointing at the hotel, babbling too fast to be comprehensible. Ask him to slow down again, tell him I don't understand, etc., etc. He's getting kind of agitated now and starts repeating a currency amount, then keeps saying that the hotel is really nice. I finally managed to pick up the other phrase he's saying. He wants to pay me to go with him to the hotel. I tell him no. Get up to leave, and he's pretty pissed now. Gets up like he's going to follow me and is still talking loudly. Hurry off into one of the station stores. I can see him still watching me. After a few turns, I found a cafe, sat down in the back and got a drink. Keep thinking I see him in the crowds outside. By the time I leave the cafe, he's gone. After a bit more wandering, I finally find the bus stop. Managed to get on the bus and back to the dorms without incident. More creepy than spooky, I guess. The thing that made me most nervous was how agitated he was getting, the less comfortable I got. I fully believe he would have made a move in a less populated area.
When I was little, sometimes my mom would rush into my room at night. "Mom, what's up?" "Shh." I hear my dad's feet creaking down the wooden hallway to my room. "Angie, where are you?" My door opens again. Dad looks impatient. "Honey, Anon had a nightmare. It's okay, Anon. It was just a dream."
I am so confused. Wasn't having a nightmare, wasn't even asleep yet. Dad looks mad. Anon, you're fine. Angie, come back to bed. Mom looks anxious. Honey, he's upset. Just go to sleep and I'll be there later. Angie! She pokes me in the side subtly and I catch on. I speak up. It was really scary, Mom. It was really scary. It's okay, Anon. Can you stay with me till I get back to sleep? Of course, sweetie. Dad storms out in his underwear, slams the door, calls me a whiny child. Mom looks so relieved but won't meet my eye. We sit in silence for nearly an hour. We never talked about it, but it was always similar when it happened. I realize my mom used me as an excuse to get out of sleeping with my dad. I wonder what she has to do now that her excuse is grown up and living on his own.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.